Hey.
You ordered what?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dean Callan Show. Today, if you've seen the intro demo thing that I did, is World Cocktail Day. So for World Cocktail Day today, I am going to focus as much as I can be focused with my kind of extreme ADHD on the old-fashioned cocktail. So the plan was to go through the old-fashioned cocktail from way back in the day, kind of little bitters dropping McBog, and like just geek out on the old-fashioned. But I just don't know if that's anywhere near as good as me just having a chat with Mitch, right? And I'm going to intro you straight away to Mitch's Minute, because when I got Mitch's Minute back today, it just shifted gears on the show. And you know I like to be flexible and loose with the show. I'm not getting paid to do this. I don't have a boss. You're not the boss of me. It's my show. I can play Mitch's Minute at the beginning, and then you'll see what's going to happen with the show for the rest of the show. So assuming I've got audio, right? Yay, chat with Mitch. Right. Now, I'm going to start with Mitch's Minute. It's amazing. You're going to love it.
Describe the perfect bar team in a minute. I can't describe a perfect bar team in a minute. How about you call me back and I'll fucking have a think about it, and so that I don't miss anything. I mean, positional plays I reckon I've got a strong grasp on, but who I would apply and how I would put that team together, I mean, they're relative to who's available and who can fit under relative salaries and what positions they're going to play. There's a lot of ego to manage in that equation. But I'll have a cup of coffee, and if you call me back, I had a fucking great night's sleep, so I'm tip top. But yeah, I need a shower and I'll think it over. Call me back.
Yeah. All right, and so I've got Mitch on the line. I think I'm just gonna. Mitch, you're there, right?
Yeah, mate.
That's little Mitch. So this is Mitch's kitchen view. Figured we'd start it in the kitchen because that makes sense. Like then Mitch can make drinks. We can make drinks together because World Cocktail Day. So if we don't have a cocktail on World Cocktail Day, we're not doing our bit for the bartending community, right? How you feeling, Mitch?
Mate, feeling tip top. Get my hands clean. Got my dick shorts on. Fucking pumped. You see these bad boys yet?
Seen what? Oh yeah, I seen that on your Instagram, dude. Where did you get those?
It's this local artist called Boris Walker. But like, if you wear them to like the supermarket, or like I like to wear them around the neighborhood when I'm walking my dog, people are so fucking upset about it. Like, that guy's got a big dick on his shorts. It's fucking awesome.
When you say people get upset about it, they get upset they don't own them, or they get upset that you're wearing them?
I don't know. A lot of people look down their nose at me. Which, as you know, I just think is the funniest thing in the fucking world.
Yeah, that's their loss, man.
Yeah, you know? Totally. Really.
People that look down their nose at people aren't really living life properly, you know? Right, so
yeah,
I'm about set up. Now, obviously, it's World Cocktail Day, so I think it would make sense if we both, before we get into the team thing, start by making an old-fashioned. Can you make it? Are you set up for making an old-fashioned? I'm going like this because you were standing up.
I furiously set up in the last minute.
You what?
I furiously set up in the last minute.
Okay,
so I'm
cool.
good to go. I've got everything.
So are you just going to build it into the glass? Because, like, my way of making an old fashioned is to just sugar syrup, bitters, the whiskey. I use whiskey, and then add the ice onto the top of it, stir to dilution, strain over fresh ice. Right, but like I wasn't bartending in a busy cocktail bar since bought in beautiful cubed ice has come in. So would you get it down to the temp of the large piece of ice, and then put the large piece of ice in, or do you bother with that at all?
Alright, there's two schools of thought right there. You're mincing around, making something in a mixing glass, using double the amount of tools, or you're just building it in the glass, like building the whole drink in the glass. So that, in my opinion, is relevant to how busy your venue is. Like, if you're pumping out hundreds of old fashions a night, is it really necessary to be making it in a mixing glass and then putting it onto ice? I am going to go mixing glass onto Big Cube because Penny Pound just sent my wife a whole ton of ice. So I've got a freezer full of ice and I need to get through some of it. But normally, at home, I would just build the whole thing in glass.
And what whiskey are you going to use?
I'm going to use a blend of half bourbon, half rye, which is my preferred old fashioned.
Really?
Yeah, I like rye for the spice and bourbon for the fatness because I like chubby things.
I'm going to do the same thing. Wait, you're half bourbon, half rye?
Yeah. That's my preferred old fashioned.
Alright, half bourbon.
Do you remember when I first got taught to make old fashions, they used to have me mincing around stirring these things for so fucking long.
I know.
That I now... But also, I didn't have the palate for distilled spirits back then, so I think I was a bit more inclined to think, oh yeah, this is really, really good, when really I was probably just knocking out super over-diluted drinks.
Well...
Like, I made a Pampero old-fashioned for Sven Almenning one time when I was really new to cocktails, and I must have stirred that sucker for 10 minutes.
Well, like, that's the thing for me. When I first started making old fashions, I'd been told I'm gonna give you more screen here if this works. Boom. Right? There you go.
I don't get in trouble with my wife for stealing her eyes.
Are you able to turn the camera so that we can see your face? Because at the moment we can see Make America Mitch again. Dude, I've not seen that yet.
I'll see if I can get it up to a better height. Hang on.
I love that it says Mama.
It says what?
Make America Mitch again is Mama.
Oh, it's from do you remember that time I got stuck in the UK because I was going to Scotland? And remember I was going to Scotland for a tour through the Bacardi distilleries, like through Aberfeldy and Royal Bruckler and Craigellachie and stuff. And on the way out, the guy at immigration was like, hey, so, because I lost my passport in a fight at the burger stand one night. And then so I had to get a new passport and a new visa, and they hadn't made the corrections for time. And so I was like, for the change of passport numbers.
Oh no.
So I ended up with a new passport, like a correct passport, but it didn't have the correct visa number in it. So my visa number was like out of date. And the guy's like, yeah, look, I'll give you a heads up. Well, he did actually. He wasn't Australian, he was American, and he was way more polite about it. But he was super nice, this immigration guy, and he was like, yeah, so you won't be able to get back in. And I ended up spending, I think, a month in the UK in quarantine. Like, not in quarantine, but, like, I couldn't get back to the US. And, remember, I was working for Russell at Love's Company. It was during London Cocktail Week. And then I was, like, going up to Scotland to do work, and, yeah, it was just a tale of stupidity, really.
Those were the days, though. International travel was allowed. Look at where we are now.
Spin? Yeah, there you go.
Alright. Yeah, back bar lights. And under bar lights. Right, so. Old fashioned. I was always taught that the old fashioned was, you add sugar and dilution and bitters to soften and round out the spirit. So I started making them with Booker's. Which I might make this, and then I might, for old time's sake, make a Booker's one as well. Right? We'll just stick to cocktails. I'm going to do it this way and put the big chunk of ice over the top, and the next one I'm just going to build straight into the glass with the skanky leftover ice. So Mitch, we were talking about building a team, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously...
The DNA of the team.
What's that?
I fucking love this subject. It's one of my favourite subjects.
Obviously, like, I would say like a polarizing character to work with. You've worked with me before.
Yeah.
And
we all have our moments.
I could say that when I'm going at it, I've got a kind of unique work ethic. So I need to kind of pick the people I'm working with quite strategically. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I was picking a team, the first thing I would do is spend time with them to see whether or not they could put up with me. Which I think would be the absolute most important thing. How well the team gel together.
Yeah.
But then after that...
I mean, you can create the gel within teams. I think that's the important part of, like, leadership, right?
Yeah.
So I think what's more interesting when you talk about the DNA of a team is what type of players are you getting in. Like,
yeah, exactly.
For instance, you can't have a team that's exclusively rock stars. Like, you couldn't have a team of 5 Max Grecos. You know what I mean? Because 5 Max Grecos are all
2 Max Grecos.
You definitely need a Max Greco, and he is a prime-time example of what that rock star player looks like. But he is also likely to not be sober enough to clean the bar. Let's be generous and call it one night a week, right? He's also going to get distracted anytime there's girls in the room, but he's going to, you know, when everybody arrives in the morning and maybe we went out for a bit of a team bonding session the night before and got a bit liquored up, and Max is going to come in and bring that energy first thing. And so that's what he's bringing to the team is a really special type of energy. But obviously, you only need one of them. Your warhorse is such a clutch person, like the person that's going to always take the worst station, always be willing to pick up every missing shift, always knows where everything is always prepared better than everybody else, and just fucking nuts it out. And they probably don't say a great deal during service. They just fucking put their head down and go. And that person's really important as well. That person also requires the least amount of supervision. And because of that, I'm of the opinion that person needs to get a lot of perks. You know what I mean? Like, a Patron taking you and one of your bartenders.
So far you've got a rock star, you've got a point man, as I would call him. Like someone that you put on point, the busiest point in the bar.
Yeah. You definitely need your warhorse, and then you need your utility player. Like, let's say it's not a big venue, let's call it a 75-seater. It's got plenty of standing room, it gets a bit ruckus in there, it maxes out at, say, 110 people. So you've probably got 3 bartenders on there. So between those, you then need your link person that can work both those positions and the floor. Like that person that can sort of be there like a chameleon. You know what I mean? Like that somebody that has incredible versatility. You just get that half bourbon, half rye.
Can I just stop you for a second? We've got a comment through here. Jacob Bryce just asked, are you doing this show with that Aussie guy that throws away jar sauce? Or has Mitch just let his hair go wild? And then he followed that up with, it hurts to imply that Mitch sounds like an Aussie.
Is he calling me That's What I Reckon?
Is he calling you what?
Have you seen that dude? That's What I Reckon. He's an Australian comedian with really crass language, so I can see what the connection is. People said I get reposted his stuff to me like once a week. He's funny though. I think he's a funny guy. But also, Jacob, I've got New Zealand citizenship, but I was born in Sydney, bro. So there's a bit of conflict of interest there.
What's going on with your camera, Mitch? Is Karen on the camera?
Karen Karen can't let things be. So she comes in, sees it looks a little bit crooked, and she's like, I'm fixing it.
I'm honestly, I think I really want to spend more time calling you and just chatting shit. So I'm tempted to send you some stands and like tripods and lighting.
No,
and
I'm using her stand.
Oh, okay.
No, because Karen's BA jobs become so social media based that like this is what I do with my days, and I just spend my day fucking holding cameras and lights for her.
And what
Like
is
she does all her
that
thing.
Vera Moretti can?
No, I just got sent a case of alcoholic kombucha to do a video with, and like any of those videos that I do, I donate all that money that I get paid to charity because I'm still working. So I think it's a bit unnecessary for me. So, but I've been wanting to try.
And what is it?
It's
Now that we're
hard
getting completely
kombucha.
distracted. Huh?
Hard kombucha, yeah. World Cocktail Day. Here's a can of alcoholic kombucha.
Well, I guess if you put a dash of whiskey in it, spirit of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters, right? Make a cocktail out of it. Easy.
Yeah, baby. I'm fucking all down this.
Is it nice? I've been given something. So Electra, just so I can
That's
see
not
what
bad.
you're up to. Electra's given me this, which for the kids are... how do I do this? Bam. For anyone watching at home, there's this one, which is Empirical Spirits Milk Oolong Tea, Toasted Birch, and Green Gooseberry, 10% alcohol. Right? So,
Fucking hell.
since we're drinking weird shit,
How do you put that one on the menu?
I don't know. It doesn't have it just says Empirical Spirits. They haven't given it like a name. A drink made from a vacuum distilled barley malt and Belgian saison yeast spirit, milk oolong tea, green gooseberry, toasted birch shavings, Douglas fir needles, and pomelo zest. Whoa!
Yes.
Well, I have no idea what this is going to taste like. It's just that last bit got me. All right, I'm going to put it in the fancy glass.
Is it offensive for me to use my old-fashioned eyes? No, is it? I'm in my own home. I could fucking lie to people and be like, yeah, it tastes great.
So on your team, you've got a rock star, someone who's like, has high energy, keeps the buzz going, is more interested in the vibe of the place. You've got a workhorse or point man, which is basically like the way I would put a team together is like, I call it a storyteller. Someone that just chats to everyone and is a big personality. Maybe, like I used to consider myself fast bartender. Like the point man, because I used to just do this, and I'd get angry if things got like I got backed up or someone wasn't moving fast. But now,
but that's why I don't want a lot of chat out of my warhorse. Like,
now I'm too slow, and I've got being a brand ambassador for 10 years. I'm too chatty, so I put myself more in the.
You're probably getting moved more into that link position where if you have to, you can jump in the sink. Bash out a few checks, get everybody back up to speed.
That's a good call.
But you're partially working the room and partially having to work the floor, and also keep your eyes up because Rockstar's distracted as fuck, right? Warhorse is busy doing all the work.
So Rockstar's Max Greco is distracted.
Max is always my sort of like who I envisage. Like I don't know if you've ever worked a shift with Max Greco, but
no, I really want to. He's in London now, dude. He's in London. He's looking for a job.
He is in London, and he's a fucking funnest guy to work with. Like I'd go work shifts at Vasco, his bar, just for the fuck of it. Not even like just to be there with him because he's just so.
This is delicious, by the way. Like
I'm
it's actually delicious.
Have you got Douglas fir liqueur there in your bar?
Nope. Didn't know there was Douglas fir liqueur.
Clear Creek make one, but you make a Negroni with that in place of gin, and it's like, it's probably the most expensive cocktail money can make, but fucking incredibly tasty.
I wonder how much this was.
This is good. This is crushable.
Has anyone out there seen this Empirical Spirits Milk Oolong Tea, Toasted Birch and Green Gooseberry with Douglas fir and pomelo zest before? Because this is
fuck, that gives me anxiety listening to that.
So Mitch, you've got back to the team on World Cocktail Day. You've got Rockstar, who is Max Greco, right?
Yeah.
Who's your ultimate point man? Is it Luke Reddington?
Oh, Luke's a fucking savage. who else could you put in a position like that? I'd probably have Luke as my link guy because Luke can play rock star. He's fucking on the ball.
Yeah.
He knows all about booze. He can work the deep station. No, that's the person you need who's like fast, but probably a bit crabby. You know what I mean? Like my friends have been joking to me. They're like, quarantine's the perfect time for you to be bartending because you don't have to speak to any guests. Which is why I was saying that I thought it would be hilarious me and Giuseppe bartending together.
So what are you making now?
I'm just fucking messing around with this kombucha.
So you're
It's
creating
dry as
new
fuck.
drinks whilst chatting shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
all of this comes down the line, right? From having a leader that can galvanize your team.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like your GM or your bar manager has to be able to get the team to want to work together and make everybody feel included. Like their piece of work is worth the same as, right? So like here, let me put it to you this way. In theory, your rock star character should be generating more of the tips than the warhorse, right? The warhorse is knocking out way more drinks, but they're not exactly like working crowd, right? So
Yeah,
that's not their job. Their job is
watching
to make up volume. Rockstar's job is to make up tips.
So
And then you've got your...
the warhorse might even be watching what the rock star's doing and just filling drinks in where applicable, like seeing an order
Almost.
come in and just making a few drinks for them.
Well, they're probably doing the spins for the floor, right? They're getting all the drinks that are going out to the floor and handling whoever's on the tray.
Right.
And
So
then
who's your ultimate? You said Luke Reddington might be the link guy, because I'm chasing down your team, dude. I want to years ago on Facebook I seen like the little not top 9 friends or whatever you've been interacting with, and I screenshotted it and was like, that's a wicked bar team, right? And since then, it's been like, right, what would the dream team look like? Because, in all fairness, it would be really cool to just be like, right, this is the dream team. These are the 4, 5, 6 cats that you need to run a room of 300 people. And then just try to arrange for them all to be at, like, BCB or London Cocktail Week or Tales and just do a shift together. Take over a whole bar.
Well, okay, so this is the interesting thing about that equation is, like, I made notes on this, and I was like, right, put together my perfect team, and then I, put all the pieces in place, and I was like, yeah, and then I looked at it, and then I tried to envisage that team. And I was like, wow, that team's really fucking white and really fucking male. And I was like, and that's a very serious thing, you can't just be putting out teams that look exactly like that. You have to have some diversity in your team. And so then, because I had like second place and third place and my alternate options, I started to move people around, and then you start to see like who clashes with who. So I haven't got to the point that I'm able to get my dream team, so to speak. But I think it's getting those types of right characters together as well, because you also have to have that like wildly creative person that constantly comes in and goes, but what if we did this? You know what I mean? Like the same way that you need like an engineer-minded person that's like understands how to make things more efficient or how to get things to run better or more practical ways of doing things.
Yeah, it's
you do need somebody with like use Gabby as an example. The way Gabby approaches making drinks is so fucking foreign to me that it kind of trips me out that in 20 years I've never looked at it like that. Like, my idea is like that Phil Ward sort of technique of like, right, if this works, and this works, then this will work in this place, and that'll work in that place, and it'll only require a little bit of tweaking or tuning here to get something right, to get a drink right.
And how does Gabby
Whereas
do it?
Gabby's the opposite. She gets a flavor she likes and other flavors she likes, and she piles them in, right? She makes a stack of flavors into this one fucking flavor, and then she finds a drink for it. Like, I don't know if that's her exact process, but like whenever I've seen her make drinks, she'll come and like when we work together, which is exactly why I went to work for Gabby, was because I was like, nobody makes drinks like this lady. Yeah. So I go there and I like taste one, and I like taste the drinks, and And it was maybe I was there 3 months before I saw her, because she does all of her R&D and stuff in private. And then eventually, once I earned her trust, she started letting me taste things. And so you'd taste something, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is fucking delicious. What's it for?" And she'd be like, "No idea." Doesn't go in with like a clear idea of
is that not the way El Bulli put flavors together? Like, they spent 6 months of the year actually making food, and then the other 6 months of the year they went and they found a piece of produce, and then spent 6 months making a sauce out of it, like grilling it and doing all these things and taking notes. This tastes great that way. That works this way. This we can do that with. And then at the end, they had all these notes, and they're like, right, we'll make a sauce with that. We'll do that with this. You know what I mean? Like, knowing which flavors.
Yeah, that's to the best of my understanding. That is exactly how Gabby works.
Okay.
Like, she gets something, or she eats something else, and she goes, "Oh, but what about this?" Like, her notepad, and also she can draw as well. So her notepad's
Gabby's
fucking
on
amazing.
your team? Is that what you're saying?
Creative director.
So you've got
creative director.
So you've got Rockstar. You've got the point person, right?
All right. Okay. So let's break it down. I'll take maybe
point person actually, and then you've got the link person. You've got a creative person, and then I'm guessing it's like yourself trying to, and your job is to Alex Ferguson manage the egos.
Basically. Well, I mean, I'm pretty good at that, actually. I'm good at getting the teams to work together. But I think that your trade person is generally a perfect example for your engineer.
Trade person?
You know what I mean? Like, your person that services the floor. The person that runs drinks on trade.
Okay.
The fucking one of the hardest working people in the room. I mean, I used to work with a girl named Amanda, who I fucking loathed. She ground my gears to the absolute 1,000th degree. But holy shit! And she had the social. There's what?
There's bits coming out of this. So she grinds your gears to the 1,000th degree.
She was awful. She was awful, mate. She had the fucking social skills of an elevator fart. She was just a really unpleasant person, but fuck, she could work a room like nobody I've ever seen before.
Well,
like to this day.
I hope she's not watching this.
Oh, there's absolutely no way she'd support. She hated me as well. She hated me. Good. We had so. Every conversation her and I would have would be between like totally like, yep, noted. But we also knew that we were the two strongest people on our specific stations, and so that was our truce. Money, greed.
See, that's a sign of a true professional when like the personal bullshit goes out the window and you get the fucking job done. Because that's I had a lot of problems going back to. I tried to bar back. Remember with Jake? I always wanted to work for Jake Berger. And like, I went, Jake, hey, dude, can I be a barback in your bar? And he let me do it, but fuck, man. Like, that polarizing thing about my personality, everyone came out of the woodwork and like either was nice and I was trying to help or like clashed with me. One guy was like, I'm now the manager, you have to respect me. And I'm like, have to respect you? I have to do my job, dude. I don't have to respect you. Like,
I mean, look, it took me about 6 months to learn that I could make service better for myself if I gave Amanda a shot of cheap bourbon once every 2 hours. Which really helped. And then we got a buffer. We had another girl come in. You might have met her at my wedding, actually. The redheaded girl from Jersey, Jess.
Yeah, possibly. I think, of course I would have met people at your wedding, man. Would have met everyone.
Yeah, but anyway, so then Jess came to work for us as well, and she became the buffer. So she'd deal with Amanda, and I'd deal with fucking bartenders, because Jess hated bartenders, because she was like, these fucking guys, they want to come in and mince on about mezcal, and I'm just trying to fucking, because Jess would take care of the guests, and I'd take care of the industry. And obviously we both share the work, and then Jess would take care of Amanda, because they got on.
Okay, leaving that behind, your ultimate team, right? If you expand, right, for people that are watching this and thinking, how do I apply Mitch's logic to a team? If you expand out, do you get more rock stars? Do you get more point people? Is it dependent on the size and shape and state of the venue? As the venue gets bigger, Do you start filling it with more link people and putting Rockstar Point Link, Rockstar?
Well, you're limited to how many rock stars you can put in a bar together as well, right? Because rock stars are also, by definition, fucking degenerates, right? So if you have 2 or 3 rock stars in a team, then you almost inevitably are missing one person off the line because one of them's in the bathroom doing cocaine.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You know, like,
what sort
they
of rock
fucking love
stars are you hiring, dude?
Mate, if there was one thing I've learned in 20 years of bartending is that people fucking love cocaine. I don't understand it, but people fucking love it. But I would think, I mean, your barback has to be a fucking savage as well. I'm a big
yeah,
like,
barbacks are key.
I'm a big fan of not having a specific barback and everybody rotates through a barback shift a week.
Yeah, that see, this is the thing, right? So my concept, if I open a venue, was to have everyone on the same pay, have them all in salaried positions. So it's made me kind of start thinking about having a members club, where, say for example, it costs £1,000 to open the bar for a day, and that pays for everyone's salaries, the ground rent, all the extra bits, and then the 25, 30, 40%, you know, whatever extra we needed to do all the things for paying. It costs £1,000 to open it for a day. So then we take in 1,000 members and charge £365 a year, right? It gives a bit of a buffer, but basically it pays to open the venue with staff paid for before anyone walks through the door every single day. And then all the staff will be on the same pay grade, and we would shuffle positions. So one day I'm on the front door, the next day I'm on the floor, the next day I'm behind the bar. When I first started bartending, I refused to work any other position than bartending. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be the best bartender I could be. But when I was forced to work on the floor, I realized how powerful knowing all the drinks was if you're actually the floor person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And knowing the products.
And like, having been a bartender and super crazy into bartending, every time I went on the floor, it turned into a disaster because I clashed with the bartenders. So the first time I got a floor job, it lasted like 3 nights before the bartenders just basically were boycotting serving me. It was largely because
but also, like, a lot of that's so true though. But like, so many young bartenders don't have the maturity yet to go back and do a shift on the floor.
Mate,
like, they're not comfortable clearing glasses off tables. They're not comfortable clearing, like, also the shittest job in any fucking restaurant is clearing tables. Everybody knows that. Like, but it's a fact of fucking life. Just get on with it. You know, like, I hate bussing the bar and changing fucking cutlery between courses when I'm bartending and in the middle of 7 chicks. But you know what? I get fucking paid for it, so shut the fuck up and do your job. How does that sound? So I've never been able to get that to work, and I've tried it a few times, the rotating thing. That could be a little bit of a regional thing. It might be more likely to work in other markets.
The idea was everyone tries every position, from management to, they have to do it within the month. Everyone has to do that same position. Right? But
totally. And if your manager is not better than every single person at every single position, then don't be surprised if people don't respect you.
Well,
you know what I mean? Your manager better be able to fucking move on the floor. They better be able to hold down the fucking station. They better be able to work that fucking room. Because otherwise, what the fuck are we following you for?
But it's not so much following. It's more, if you think about this, right? If say you and I started working together in a team, and there was the job to, like, you know, it'd be a difficult one. There's a job to, like, do the gadgety, like, tech bit, and there's a job to chat to the customers, right? Like, both of us are good at chatting to the customers, and both of us are good at the techie gadget bit. But I'm undoubtedly better at the techie gadget.
Way better at the tech shit than me.
And you're way more, like, fluid with talking to people, you know?
Some people hate me.
But both of us, but the people that hate you, you just come and get me. If they hate me as well, we kick them out.
Yeah.
It's easy, right? Because we're both very different characters. Like, we both are very different people. So if they hate both of us, then, like, fuck you, get out. But At the end of the
Also-
day, both of us are going to come to an agreement that, like, right, you have to do the techie gadget bit once a month, or at least once a week. But you might leave me to do it 6 days a week because we're both on the same pay grade. So why don't we just do what we're good at?
Well,
Do you
yeah,
see where
best
I'm coming
person for
from?
the best job, for the right person for the right job. Like, you play everybody to their strongest skill sets, but you should ideally be able to do everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, especially from a management position, or you're really good at coaching and training people to grow to the positions you need them to be, a la Alex Ross, a la Anton Forte is a prime example. Anton Forte has taken more bartenders that could never be able to get out of their own way and got them to a professional level that their career has gone to the next level
Yeah.
than any other person I know. I mean, probably aside from maybe like your Audreys or your Julies or, you know, like people that have been around,
And
you know, in the mix a long time.
Is an underrated weapon of our industry. So right,
I mean, he's a fucking savage.
it's now been 40 minutes, I think.
Oh,
So,
shit.
We should wrap up with. Do you want to do one more old fashioned?
I'll do one more drink. I don't know if I want an old fashioned. It's first thing in the morning here.
Cocktail.
I'll definitely make another cocktail. Let me quickly go to the bar. I'll be right back.
You go into the bar.
Yeah.
In that case,
I'm in the kitchen.
guys, I'm going to cut to a commercial. It's not a commercial that has been sponsored or anything like that, but it's basically the greatest thing I've seen on social media recently. It's the reason you might have noticed I used Bullet in both the bourbon and the rye. It's because Jen from Bullet released a video today that was super epic. I loved it. It's the best example of a brand doing some form of advertising during the whole COVID thing. Here, I'll just play it for you.
Another work from home day in the books. Time for a Charlie cocktail. Bobby, Mimi, Rodrigo, Marcello. Professor Smith, would you care to join me for a cocktail in the lounge? Uncle Cliff, look at you. Maurice, have you met Kendall? Kendall, have you met Maurice? Eleanor, back from Paris, I see. Miss Livingston, care to set the mood? Well, I believe we're in good company. Let's drink to that.
All right, so you've seen her, and if you didn't catch it, you've seen her both Facebook and Instagram account name at the top of the video. I left it in there on purpose. Follow her. She's fucking awesome. Always been good to me. Total legend. She actually has been to the cabin before, just before the whole lockout thing. Or, well, a little while before the whole lockout thing. But I messed up all the camera angles and audio and everything, and I've kind of never figured out how to make the video that we made shine. 4 people came in here, and I was expecting 1. So it was I was lost. I've since learned a lot more about cameras, so hopefully in the future I'll be able to reshoot that or edit it better. Right, so Mitch, are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're making noise. It sounds like you're back.
Yeah, I went out and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll definitely have a Bukhari. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. You just said you don't want something so alcoholic. And then I got a little bit upset with myself and, like, panicked. And then I was like, fuck it, I'll just keep it old-fashioned. But I couldn't find any other sweeteners. So I was like, all right, let's use a bit of something, man. But I'm going to go in
I'm going to make
I'm
another
going
old
fuck. I'm
fashioned.
going rogue.
I'm going to make a Booker's old fashioned. Like if I, yeah, here it is. So
Savage.
as I said, I started making Booker's Old Fashions because that's what I drank back in the day. And if you can soften this out and round it out and give it to someone that can't drink hard alcohol, then, you know, you've done a great job.
The only person that can lose a jigger in their own kitchen.
I don't know, man. I lose my jigger all the time. You give me shit for not having all my ingredients ready.
You didn't tell me I was making 2 drinks.
You... What? How is this my fault?
It's
your fucking kitchen, dude. That's not on me.
Did I tell you that I started like because you know
Right, so you built your whole team, right? Mitch?
Yeah.
And I'm not on it, dude. Can I just have a position? Can you just give me a
Okay, so
position in
you
your bar?
want me to put names on? Okay, so here's how I go. For my rock
And
song, I'll
don't
take
and
either.
don't put me on there for no reason. You know, like I can just I can be a partner in the business. I can be your hype man.
No, hear me out, right? So for my rock star, I'm going either Sarah, who bartended my wedding, Russell Burgess, or Max Greco.
Ooh, Russell
Mate,
Burgess is a good call.
I could not tell you how much I fucking love Russell.
And both Russell and Max Greco are in London at the same time. We should try to organise for both of them to work the same event.
It's fucking a danger zone. For my engine room, I'm going either you or I. That's our place.
What's engine room?
Engine room's like your point man. It's the person that's doing all the work.
Yeah, I can move fast when I have to.
Yeah. I'm still faster than just about everybody else I know. I'm not as fast as you. We have to do the rematch issue. Talk to Giuseppe.
A rematch issue of the Dean Callan show?
Yeah. Get you, Jake, Paul Mance, Giuseppe, and then you've got to get Lindsay Nader in, but play the video of her doing it pregnant first. Because that shit is just the most... The video of Lindsay Nader beating everybody in Northern America's time while fucking 8 months pregnant.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Look, all the hair on my arm just stood up just talking about it. It's still one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is amazing.
If I could go back and watch that live again, or Jorge Masvidal's really famous flying knee knockout in Vegas, because I was at that one as well. I'd take the Nader run. Bro, that knockout was insane. It was amazing. You know how much I love MMA, but Lindsay Nader doing rematch pregnant and beating everybody, smoking everybody as well, was fucking outside.
I found out today who Verdum is.
Fabricio?
I don't know, Verdum? He's super old school.
Yeah, I mean, he's an older guy. He's like 42 or something. I saw him in Venice the other day, not that long ago, actually.
So,
I won't fight him.
Names. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up, dude. Call
me back afterwards, and I'll tell you how I've been trolling the Casamigos brand ambassadors.
Why were you trolling the Casamigos brand ambassadors?
Because I'm bored. I'm trolling fucking clowns now. I'm just messing with people.
What did they do wrong? You can't troll innocent people, man.
Look, I didn't realize I was trolling them. I just made a joke that I was like, is this a vanilla liqueur? And some British brand ambassador for Casamigos got a stink up about it.
Oh,
so
what's their name?
Went through and trolled a bunch of her shit.
No.
It's so easy. They post the cheesiest fucking captions. Like, it's honestly...
But
like,
does the UK have a Casamigos brand ambassador?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She might have blocked me by now. I really don't know. It was like a 6-hour flutter. It was like...
Dude,
you know,
I don't know, man. Is that necessary?
I don't know. I mean, we're in the business of manufacturing, marketing, and preparing poisonous alcohol that people drink by choice.
Well,
like, do I really have to worry about a moral code? Like,
do you have you been on the World of Bartenders on Facebook?
Oh God, I'm not on Facebook, bro. I can't.
There's like 30,000 people on it, and it is one giant troll. I swear to God, everyone on there, everyone's asking questions like, who created the very first ever cocktail? Who's the first person to drink alcohol? Like, we need the answer. And it's like, guys, why the fuck are you... And then, not only that, but when it's like, who created the first ever cocktail? It's World Cocktail Day, and they're asking that. And then it's like, well, that's you can't really... That's like asking who created the first wheel. Who invented the wheel? Right? So it's like, these are the first dates. This is the best we know. And then they're like, no, Antoine Peychaud created the first cocktail. So, well, Antoine Peychaud was born in 1803, and in 1803 people were already drinking cocktails. So unless he's like, I don't know, Jesus or something, and he just was born and created the cocktail, and they still argue back. I don't know. But I'm getting caught up in it, because I kind of think, do they not know, or are they trolls?
Well, this is why I had to get off Facebook, because it's just pages and pages of fucking nonsense.
Right, so since we're on Facebook right now,
It is. That's why I watch on YouTube.
Oh yeah, well, let's wrap this up. What's your bar team on World Cocktail Day? We'll skip the whole Cocktail Day challenge thing.
Right. So I've got my rock star. It's either Sarah, Max, or Russell. My link guy, I need somebody to be charming and versatile. Either going with Luke Reddington, Luke Ashton, or Harriet Lee, who's the general manager of Archie Rose. She's a fucking beast. For my tray person, aka the little commando, like the person that knows the venue better than everybody else and can engineer a thing, I'm actually going with Luke Ashton's wife, Kylie Xavier Ashton. She could also play the role of general manager. She's a fucking stud. Or who else have I seen work the floor like a mother? Chris Highstead. Chris Highstead's a fucking great type of.
Chris Highstead can work the floor really well.
Mate, he can work a trade pretty well.
But he's a giant with a massive head.
Fucking giant. That's it. You see him coming.
Right. Yeah.
That giant fucking head is. For the front door, I'm going to put Andy Penny on the front door because that's.
This bar sounds dangerous. This bar sounds. He's
got no emotions, so he's not going. He doesn't. He doesn't.
He has no emotions.
He's got no emotions. But we're also going to put some big meat wagon to back him up, or at least somebody that can fucking has some sort of. The flip side of the coin is you can probably have somebody that actually has human emotions to be there to explain what he's saying.
I love that you think Andy Penny has no human emotions.
Bro, that guy's done more mean shit to me over the years than anybody else I know. Trust me, he has no human emotions. I see his Instagram feed now. It's all photos of this girl and this dog, and I'm like, what's happened to you? I remember when you used to... Anyway, let's not go down the dirty
Moving
road.
on.
Creative department is head up by Gabby, but she has to include everybody, so she's mentoring the whole team.
What do you mean she has to include everybody? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, she's got to bring everybody in the team's got to get used. Everybody's got to have their little stake on the menu. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not the Gabby show.
Having a collaborative menu is just does so much for a team. And then as her assistant, I'm using Kelsey Ramage. Yeah, just because I want to see the two of them bickering in a kitchen as well. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Be fucking brilliant, right? Well, Gabby's really frugal as well, though. Like, she's not wasting money. She knows how to not waste money. So yeah, that's a team, right?
Cool, very cool. Right, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you so much for. We're not focusing on the history of the World Cocktail Day stuff, are we? And I was going to be like, on the 13th of May in 1806, the Balanced Columbian Repository released this whole thing, and there's like, wait, where is it? Here's the very first reference to the cocktail, and like, well, it's not the first reference to the cocktail, actually. In context, the first reference to the cocktail is from London Morning Post in 1798. Wait. 1798 in London was the first reference to a cocktail vulgarly called a ginger, apparently. And then later on, the US picked it up in 1803, and then it was defined in 1806. So originally, we all thought 1806 was the first ever reference to the cocktail, and like 1806 appears on the Museum of the American Cocktail and all that sort of stuff. But then I think it was Dave Wondrich found that actually it was used in context, and in context is important because just the word doesn't mean anything. It has to be in context. In 1803, in a completely different thing, but kind of the same thing. And then the farmer's fucking cupboard or farmer's cabinet. And then 1798 in London, right? And London, it was a politician, I believe. And the fact that it was used in the US later, but in the same kind of context, it's great for politicians because people who will consume cocktails will consume whatever you're telling them. Interesting stuff. Oh, danger zone.
That's so brutal.
Right, anyway, 1806, 13th of May, which is today, is World Cocktail Day. And if I was going to say anything about it, I'd say it's great that we've got a World Cocktail Day, but why don't we promote it a little bit more? I was expecting to find loads of videos about what's going on World Cocktail Day. I would have expected to see maybe some like news people being like, well, it's World Cocktail Day today. Since you're all at home, here's how to make a cocktail, but nothing. The bar industry, if we want to make money as bartenders, consultants, whatever, a World Cocktail Day being the size of St. Patrick's Day or fucking anything else that's a day would drive people into high-end cocktail bars, would drive people to make cocktails and gain some extra respect, I think, within bartenders. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's fucking first thing in the morning. Well, it's not. It's like mid-morning now on the west coast of the US, and Americans love a day. They love a fucking Pina Colada Day. It's fucking Pisco Sour Day, or like whatever day. So I will see that. I mean, also, there's kind of like nothing's important at the moment here because everybody's like, well, Donnie knocked out 140 treats on Sunday, and then basically told some Asian, some Chinese journalists, that it's your fault. In a nutshell, like, and I'm paraphrasing. But yeah, I mean, he just dominates so much of our media that it'd be interesting to see how the day goes. But I don't know. I saw Bacardi had an Ask Me Anything phone number you could dial on my quick cigarette Instagram. So yeah, they had a cocktail Ask Me Anything line for World Cocktail Day.
Really?
We can call Bacardi US. Bacardi US are fucking strong, bro. They do a good job.
Man, I'll tell you what, Bacardi have been good. Bacardi with the tragedy, with the virus, have been very good. They've been good not only to people in the trade, but good to their staff. Which
they've handled their shit out here as well. They've done a good job out here as well. Really good job out here.
In the UK, people are getting furloughed, right? And they get 80% of their pay. Bacardi's making it up to 100%. That's fucking cool, right? But also,
that is cool.
Like, they're not letting anyone go. Other companies have just fired people or made them redundant. Even though they could furlough them, they could give them for free 80% of their pay, but instead they chose to make them redundant. Like, why? If you're not paying someone's wages, why would you? Anyway, let's not do that. We're three old-fashioned.
Long game, mate. Looking long game.
Long game. Well, like long game. Long game as long as everyone doesn't see them and mark them as like, I don't want to deal with them anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Do you want to retrain staff? Do you want to retrain staff, or do you want to, once things kick back off or start to kick back off, have all the people that have all the connections? Like, it's big picture. It's, the person that's laying off staff that they've had for a long time was probably in fucking selling toothpaste and bottled water before. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem with corporate jobs. They're corporate jobs. They're not.
All right, we gotta go. It's been too long. It's nice 53 minutes and 2 seconds now. People
somebody's asleep by now.
People are signing off. There's no one watching. Right, gotta go. Ciao, brother. This has been awesome. Love you. Speak to you soon.
Love you too.
Okay, guys. So Mitch is still on the line, so you probably get some audio from him. But to close out the show, I wanted to go back to another Australian. Well, I say another Australian. Mitch is actually a Kiwi. If anyone's confused by Jacob Breyer's comments, Mitch is in fact from New Zealand, not from Australia. And despite what 42 Below said a few times, New Zealand is not part of Australia. I'd like to close out the show with the Never Never Gin Company's latest release video. It's amazing.
Another work from home day in the books. Time for
Welcome to week 5 of the Never Never Have I Ever Bartender Challenge. This week's challenge is flair with an everyday household item. Most exciting combination of everyday items wins. Extra points if you use a very, very flairable bottle of Triple Juniper Gin. Also extra points if you can actually flare. 2002 Flair champion of Coventry. Not bad. Make sure you get your entries in by this Sunday. Our friends in Hong Kong and Singapore, just a reminder that this is open to you as well. First prize is $150 from a bar or restaurant near you. Make sure you use the hashtags Never Never Have I Ever and Flair Because I Care. Good luck.
Don't you love them? They're amazing. I love the Never Never guys. This whole thing has made me love them way more. And now for the backwards intro as an outro.